Hey there! I am seeing a lot of love for Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, and kind of wondering why. I haven't seen the film since it came out. I saw it in the theater. I saw it at the GCC Northeast in Philadelphia, and I had seen Part 5, and I did a video on that. Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, which, was packed theater, Mayfair Theater, second run theater in Philadelphia, and everybody dug it. I mean, it was packed, it was all teenagers, and it was fun. It was a fun night at the movies. Didn't do as well at the box office as Paramount wanted, so they needed Jason to come back, which is cool, it's understandable, but I think they spent maybe 5 minutes figuring out how to bring him back. And maybe in retrospect, some folks now who check out Jason Lives on streaming or Blu-ray or whatever, to take it back a little bit, when that movie came out, and I sat in the theater, and again it was the GCC, which was a major theater chain in the 70s, kind of like AMC now, but by the 80s it was falling on hard times, getting a little dilapidated. But they were booking movies that, quite honestly, weren't that popular with the general audiences. So even though it's called General Cinemas. So you would get like Dead Ringers and some other, Bad Dreams and films like that, horror movies that might get a limited release, or AMC or Bugco didn't want to book them. Actually, Bugco was bought by AMC, so yeah, I don't think you could have an AMC and a Bugco in the 80s. Anyway, I digress. I sat there in the theater chilling, and when the basic premise was that Tommy's a little mad because Jason's dead, but he's not dead enough, so let's make him more dead. Again, I'm going back, 30 odd years since I saw it. That's how I remember it. And I do remember sinking down into the seat of that theater saying, this is pretty dumb. They're going to dig up a dead body to make it more dead. And the way they're going to make it more dead is by a metal rod they stuck into his heart, and he gets struck by lightning, and getting struck by lightning is enough to bring the dead back from the grave, apparently. And not just bring them back from the grave, but make them superhuman, like superhuman, like Monster Jason, super zombie Jason powers. Again, the movie came out, 86? So from the dawn of time, the first humans that ever lived, all the way up to 1986, like nobody knew that you could bring the dead back to life by striking them with lightning. You could say Frankenstein did it, but the lightning struck all the machinery that powered the machinery to bring the monster back to life. It wasn't just, they didn't leave him out in a field and he didn't get struck by lightning. So we're off to the races with a really, really stupid premise. A lot of unintentional comedy in that film, which was not only intentional comedy, but a little unintentional comedy, and all of it was unnecessary. Why they wanted to go with humor, I know why. They're probably trying to ape the gimmick with Nightmare on Elm Street, which, quite honestly, Freddy got dopier as he got funnier. He was better off when he was Scary Menace. And how did they want to kill Jason? They want to tie a big rope around his neck, tie a rock around the rope, and throw him in Crystal Lake, like he owed money to the mob or something. I mean, it's stupid. We do get to see Arnold Horshack get his heart ripped out, or we don't really get to see it, because that's another thing about Friday the 13th Part 6. It got an X rating. There were a couple scenes that were trimmed or cut. I believe the scene where I think the sheriff got his back broken, that was definitely excised. So excuse me, there's some noise outside. I live by a highway. Jason Lives. Look, if you dig it and you think it's a cool movie, God bless you. I'm probably going to watch it again. I haven't seen it forever. Sooner or later, I'll rewatch it. But the movie, it did. Yeah, it helped them at the box office. But Part 7 was worse. And the box office receipts were declining. And when they finally got things back on track with the screwed up New York entry, that was a flop. Or maybe it made like that much of a profit. But the next two entries tell you all you need to know about what faith Paramount had in that franchise making any money. I kind of like to see an alternative universe where Tommy Jarvis did become the new Jason, because zombie Jason is pretty dumb. But we did need to bring the original Jason back. That was a must. But how you bring him? I mean, just to do something dopey and just say, well, okay, he's back, and then just a generic slasher movie. Nah, I don't know. Jason Lives. Yeah, it could have been a lot better. The Cult Lives. It's got that going for it.